Back at Rogers Arena, Canucks and the San Jose Sharks, with the visitors looking to extend a run of dominance. Regular season and playoffs that have seen them defeat the Canucks 8 times in a row. And the Sharks off to a 3-0 start. Henrik Sedin's team has won 3 in a row. And we're set to go with Logan Couture winning the opening faceoff, drawing the puck back to Justin Braun. On defense with Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Patrick Marleau takes his pass. Now Couture tries to find Tyler Kennedy, who's able to track the puck and chip it into the Vancouver zone. Daniel Sedin back to collect. On the line with brother Henrik and Mike Santorelli, who's been the overtime hero 2 games in a row for Vancouver. Santorelli was chasing after Vlasic as he dumped the puck into the Vancouver end. Here's Kennedy around behind the net. He's got a man in front. Marleau stopped by Luongo on a close-in chance early. Kennedy trying to get the puck down into the corner. Winds up on the stick of Santorelli, who passes to Daniel Sedin. Daniel flips the puck into the San Jose end. His line mates are changing as he chases after the puck, and the Sharks clear it out to center. Alex Edler, who logged a game-high 27 minutes the other night against New Jersey. Puck played forward. Joe Pavelski back to collect. Gets it ahead to Tommy Wingels, who throws it in the middle. It's off Vlasic and right to Kevin Bieksa, who flips the puck back in. Braun gets it behind the goal. Ahead for Wingels. Edler stepped up to hit him, but the puck is past him and out to center. Kessler tracks it down on his own line and passes over to Kevin Bieksa. Just over a minute in, no score. Edler having trouble with that puck. Takes a hit. The Sharks pick it up. Nieto centers. Oh, Pavelski with a great move, but he shot the rolling puck over top of the net. Tipping the puck around the Canuck to himself, but Pavelski missed the target. Here's Matt Irwin at the left point with a wrist shot attempt. Wingels spins and tries to get a shot on goal. Nieto after it behind the goal. It comes to Luongo, who covers for a whistle.
Boy, a good start for the San Jose Sharks. Their first road game of the year, and they're playing in the Vancouver zone. Patrick Marleau with the chance. Roberto Luongo, good save short side. And here's the third line. And that's why San Jose is so good. Pavelski to move around Kevin Bieksa as Bieksa was watching the puck instead of the man. And shot it over top of the crossbar.
Thornton against Richardson on the face-off of the Vancouver zone. Dan Hanhus sends the puck around the boards. Weiss lifted the stick of Scott Hanny. Thornton there banks it ahead for Thomas Hertl, and is even the talk of the NHL the last few days, coming off the 4-goal performance against the Rangers. Hanhus put the hip into Thornton and sent him flying. And now David Booth picks up the puck at center. In over the San Jose line. Booth slows, tries a shot that was blocked. Demers after the puck, runs into Booth in the corner. And Thornton collects the puck, looks up ice with a pass to Brent Burns. Burns tried to thread one through for Hertl, taken away by Hanhus, whose lead pass for Weiss was off the mark, and this will be icing for a face-off in the Vancouver zone. Starting goalies brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite toffee. Roberto Luongo outdueled Corey Schneider on Tuesday for his 350th career win. He's 5 behind Rogie Vachon for 16th all-time. 30-year-old Antti Niemi off to a flying start, 3-0 goals against a 1.33. He, of course, won a Stanley Cup with Chicago in 2010.
Was a Vezina candidate last year. Real workhorse, and San Jose's schedule is favorable for him to play a lot of games again this year.
Canucks win possession off the face-off in their zone. Dan Boyle passes across his own blue line to Matt Irwin. Tom Sestito intercepted that pass at center, and he dumps the puck forward, where Boyle takes control and plays it back into the Canucks zone. Garrison around for Sestito. Boyle stepped into him, and he comes away with the puck. Dan Boyle over the Vancouver line. Hooks the puck to the near side. Desjardins there, hit by Zach Dalpe as he played the puck to the corner, and it comes through to Luongo, who again hangs on for a whistle. Murph.
Guys, don't forget to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Vancouver player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Peter Schaub of Vancouver could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner.
At Sportsnet Murph is his handle. And
lots of action on Twitter today with the Joe Thornton comments.
Murph will be by with Tony Gallagher, Ian McIntyre in the intermissions on our panel. No doubt that will be a topic of discussion. John Tortorella sends Henrik Sedin back out for the face-off in the Vancouver zone. Sharks win it. Braun threw one through the crease. Puck comes to the left point to Vlasic. Down for Kennedy. Tyler Kennedy in for Logan Couture, tips the puck through to Marleau. He looks in front with a pass attempt, blocked by Henrik Sedin. Sedin ahead for his brother Daniel. Now comes back to Henrik, who finds Tanev. He flips one forward, knocked down by Couture. Good thing, too, because Daniel Sedin, like a wide receiver, was running under that pass and might have had a dash down the left wing.
Good move in their own zone, and Chris Tanev. Jay Cutler with the Chicago Bears. Bears doing well tonight.
Here's Henrik Sedin flipping one in for Mike Santorelli to chase out. Bieksa moving down from the right point. Sharks get the puck by him, and they got 4 to center. Kennedy to the Vancouver blue line. Looked like Couture might have been offside on the left wing. Play goes on as he goes after the puck behind the net. Braun's in deep. Couture hooks the puck to Kennedy, who's covering for Braun. Left point pass, Vlasic. Back to Kennedy. Throws one on goal, blocked by a sprawling Daniel Sedin. Sharks go after the puck again. Here's a backhander by Kennedy, and tight. Luongo kept the shoulders high to make the save. A lot of play in the Vancouver end to start this hockey game. No scores. We approach the 4-minute mark. Scott Hannon moves down to the left point. Sharks getting fresh legs out there with the puck staying in the Vancouver zone. Demers to Joe Thornton. Turning on the boards. Sends one across for Burns. Puck deflects off into the corner. Now it's behind the net. Thornton trying to center. Blocked by Daniel Sedin, who collects the puck behind the net and starts out. Thornton trying to hook him. Henrik picks up the puck. Reverses for Bieksa. Canucks just want to get it out here and get some fresh bodies on the ice. But the Sharks still have it. Demers moving down. Centers tipped away by Henrik Sedin. Hannon holds the puck in. Thornton tips one towards the front. Knocked away by Henrik. Santorelli gets the puck. Doesn't want to ice it, but would like to get it as deep as he can legally. And risks it from his own side of center, and icing is called, so we may have to see a real early timeout here from Vancouver.
Canucks now learning how to block shots, and Daniel Sedin, keep your head out of the way, get your legs down, and off the skate blade, able to keep that from being directed at Roberto Luongo. Nice block shot by Daniel Sedin, and the timeout, Coach Shorthouse being called. John Tortorella did this last game during a power play to give the Sedins some extra time.
You only get one, so this is it. With
Mike Santorelli was 2 feet away from the red line. That was close.
Yeah.
Usually you get that home field advantage where the linesman gives you the...
It's like
that's it. And
they call it in baseball the in-the-neighborhood play at second base, so you don't get a shin full of spikes as you're turning the double play.
Santorelli didn't get the favorable call at the red line.
Let's check in with Murph.
Road to Rio presented by CIBC. Coverage begins tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Sportsnet East, Ontario West, Pacific, World 1 and 360. Basically, across the board.
So we're 4.5 minutes into the first. Canucks spend their timeout, now settle in for a face-off in their zone. Puck in skates, comes to the blue line. Irwin, the Brentwood Bay native, sends it in deep. It gets by Boyle, and now the Canucks will be able to make a full change as Niemi leaves the puck for Irwin. Matt Irwin still with the puck behind his net, rings it around. It took a Sharks hop past Booth, but it winds up being icing, and now there'll be a face-off at the Sharks end of the ice.
And the Sharks are not going to call their timeout. Todd McClellan looks on. Had fresh troops out there with the Pavelski line. The face-off in the offensive zone.
Ryan Kessler out for this draw against Joe Pavelski. Yannick Hansen, the right winger on this unit, having started the last couple of games with the Sedins, and Booth had been on this line. But Booth moves down to play with Richardson and Weiss. With Santorelli, as he played the later stages of the New Jersey game, joining the Sedins. Sharks able to work the puck into the Vancouver zone. Hansen gets it out, and Boyle takes control. Just past the 5-minute mark. No score. Wingles through for Pavelski, broken up by Hansen. Puck knocked off his stick right to Luongo, who sweeps it free to Ryan Stanton. Stanton sends a long one ahead, and Hansen gives chase on Irwin. Irwin able to circle the net. Higgins got a big piece of him. And now Kessler after the puck works it free to Higgins, who risked one towards the goal. That was blocked. Hansen off the right wing. Throws on the brakes, trying to get away from Boyle. Kessler picks up the puck. Shovels it back to Bieksa. He shoots, and that went off Pavelski and one. Best sustained pressure of the first period so far for the Canucks. Haven't tested the end yet. At least throwing some pucks towards the goal on that shift. Edler has a chance to move in on the left wing. Alex Edler, slap shot stopped by Niemi. A rolling puck that Edler blasted, but Niemi out to challenge makes the save.
John, you talked about the Canucks' best shift of this period, and it all started with Chris Higgins forecheck and a big hit on Matt Irwin, and that created the turnover. Higgins comes in, good solid shoulder hit on Irwin, created the turnover, and there's another hit by Chris Higgins. The Canucks have been sleeping through this one, and here's a rolling puck by Alex Edler, and Antti Niemi plays it in the body and able to hang on.
Face off to his right, Henrik Sedin wins it from Tyler Kennedy. Garrison holds the puck into the left point. Behind the net for Daniel, puck eluded him. And it comes free to Marleau, who chips it to Kennedy. Cross for Couture, clubs the puck forward, goes wide on Garrison with a wrist shot. Similar looking save by Luongo to the one Niemi made off Edler. He's got the puck, and this game remains scoreless.
Just over 6 minutes gone, the first period, Rogers Arena, 0-0, Canucks and Sharks. Last time these two teams met was a week ago. It was the season opener for both teams. Canucks actually opened the scoring, make it 1-0, and then it was 4 goals by San Jose, the last two coming in quick succession in the third period. 4-1, your final.
That made it 8 in a row, 10 including preseason for the Sharks.
A 2-1 game with 5 minutes left. Yeah, that was a very close game.
Here's Marleau, wrist shot, blocked by Brad Richardson. Sharks hold the puck in. And sent around for Kennedy, knocked away from him, and here's Dale Weiss, fanned on his pass. And the Sharks take the puck back. 6.5 minutes into the first, no score. Andrew Desjardins to James Shepard, who banks the puck in deep. Back goes Jason Garrison. Around for Dale Weiss, pass into the middle. Picked off by Shepard, and the puck stays in the Vancouver zone. Shepard from the left wing corner, threw one towards the goal. Luongo holding the post, knocked it away. And Booth picks up a loose puck and starts out. Canucks on a 3-on-2. Booth in on the left wing, tips it to the corner. Weiss is peeled off with a change. Richardson stays out to try to provide some support. And Shepard picks up the puck, checked by Richardson as he tried to move out. Booth knocked down by Demers, and the puck played around to Matt Pelech. Tried to get it forward. Hit his stanchion. Sharks know all about that in this building, and now the puck goes out of play at the San Jose bench for a face-off in the Sharks zone.
Much was made of Ryan Kessler's last game, where he only had 1 shot on goal. He had 9 shots on goal against Edmonton. He's had 14 in the 4 games, and it's one of those, John Tortorella said he's happy with the way he has played positionally and using his body. Not much to show for it.
Sedin's come back out for the offensive zone draw. Boyle gets the puck behind the net, passes to Wingles, who flips it out to center. Stanton quickly to Tannen. Ahead for Santorelli, who chips the puck in. Boyle's back, around the boards. Stanton moves down from the left point, puts one in front, knocked away by Irwin. And Matt Nieto starts out with the puck. Big wide pass for Wingles, gets by everybody, came towards the front of the net. Pavelski was checked by Tannen. The 2 number 8s were both after that puck. Tannen, round for Santorelli. Can't get it out. Good pinch by Irwin. Tannen under pressure behind the net. Wingles gets the puck. Along the end boards for Pavelski. He waits, centers. That shot deflected as Hurdle let it go, and Luongo able to make the save and cover up.
Canucks in trouble in their own zone as this third line for the San Jose Sharks controls the boards. Joe Pavelski sees Hurdle coming off the bench. Has a chance, and again, Roberto Luongo in good position to make that save.
Look like he ticked off the right leg of Ryan Stanton on the way through. Still scoreless. Sharks win another faceoff. Burns, centering pass, picked off by Kevin Bieksa. Ahead to Chris Higgins. Nice pass across. Hansen with a shot. Stopped by Niemi awkwardly. Sharks there to take the rebound away. But Kessler holds the puck in. Behind the net for Hansen. Jannik Hansen spinning away from Braun. Centers. Higgins is stopped on the doorstep by Niemi. This has been the most dangerous line by a long shot for the Canucks. Sharks get the puck out.
A save by Antti Niemi on Chris Higgins, who just can't buy one. Joey McDonald made his best save in Calgary on Higgins. There was another robbery job by Niemi.
Got a bunch of chances, that's for sure. Pellick fighting off the check of Richardson to get the puck out. Now it comes to Dan Hamhuis at his own line, across to Jason Garrison, who came into the day tied for the NHL scoring lead among defensemen with Alex Pietrangelo of the St. Louis Blues. Both had 5 points. Shepard passes the puck ahead to Jardin, who's in on the left wing. Sends one wide of the goal. Hamhuis through to Booth. Here's Richardson, bodied by Desjardins at the Vancouver line, and puck played back in offside for a whistle just shy of the halfway mark of the first.
Jannik Hansen, nice move, protects the puck, gets it out to Chris Higgins, and it's a bang-bang play where Antti Niemi, all he does is fall down. And he's fortunate it hits the left pad. Niemi doesn't even turn his head until the shot's already taken, and that's just bad luck for Chris Higgins and good luck for Antti Niemi.
Logan Couture with an equipment adjustment prior to the drop of this puck outside the Vancouver blue line. Daniel Sedin taps it back to Ryan Stanton across to Chris Tanev. Up the middle. They're going to rule if Couture could have played that one, so play goes on. Santorelli in after a puck, but I think Daniel Sedin's going to get a penalty for holding as he tied up his man behind the net, and the first power play of the game goes to San Jose.
Wow. Here's, you know how I hate to cut up the referees, but the referee at center ice made that call with the other referee 5 feet away from Daniel Sedin.
It's true.
There's a hold. I don't have any problem with it. There's a hold on Irwin as that's Jason Demers going behind the net, and Daniel grabbed him, but the referee who was 5 feet away didn't make the call.
Dennis Leroux, Batman, and Justin St. Pierre are the officials for this hockey game. Lonnie Cameron, Thor Nelson working the lines. Sharks have the early power play, trying to be the first to score one against the Canucks this season. Bieksa felled by that shot. He's very slow to get up, struggling to get to the bench, favoring his right leg as Kessler moves in with a short-handed chance, blockered away by Niemi. Kevin Bieksa in agony at the Vancouver bench after the early shot block. And the Canucks will make do without him for the time being. Here's Pavelski. Canucks 15 for 15 on the kill to start the year. And they've got 2 short-handed goals. There's a stop by Luongo off Marleau. And the puck is sent down the ice by Santorelli. Bieksa staying at the bench and trying to shake it off as Boyle moves in with the right side pass. Joe Thornton. Boyle was indeed hit by Garrison. He gets the puck around and took a Canuck hop right to Kessler. And here comes Kessler through center. Hooking one across for Chris Higgins. In with Hamhuis. Higgins wide on Demers. Knocked down. Keeps after the puck to kill more time with a minute to go in the penalty to Daniel Sedin. David Booth comes out for some penalty killing time with Jannik Hansen. Burns to Hertl. Slides one through the defense. Picks up the puck himself in the corner. Tanev out there with Hamhuis at the moment on the penalty kill as Burns tries to find some room. Pass to the point, disrupted, shot towards the goal, deflected to the corner, and here's Demers centering, picked off by Booth. And David Booth skates through center before banking the puck in off the glass.
I like David Booth as a penalty killer. He is so quick, knows where to go.
Here comes Wingles, wristing the puck in. Gloved by Edler to the line, held in by Boyle. And, that almost looked like it went in. I think part of Luongo's equipment hit the netting and made it bulge as the penalty comes to an end. That long shot looked dangerous.
Went right by Jason Garrison. Roberto didn't pick it up right until the very end.
Sharks managed 2 shots on the power play, but the Canucks have killed off 16 straight to start the season. Bieksa still hasn't reappeared, but he's still at the bench as Santorelli sends the puck in and Boyle goes back to pick it up.
Sharks were 4 out of 7 in their last 2 games on the power play.
Here's Burns in on the right wing. Throwing one in front. Vlasic with a shot. He scores! Marc-Edouard Vlasic stick side on Luongo. And the Sharks take the lead at Rogers Arena.
Kevin Bieksa is now on the ice trying to skate that off. Canucks, after you kill a penalty, sometimes there's confusion, and Tom Sestito, the fourth line's out. Confusion. Everybody backs in. Marc-Edouard Vlasic has lots of room to snap that one by Roberto Luongo as Weber comes back and gets out of position.
Sharks have a goal. We've got a cracked pane of glass in the Canucks end of the ice, so we'll take a break. With San Jose leading 1-0.
Celebrate Canucks Night every Thursday in October at Boston Pizza and enter to win a weekly Canucks jersey prize. Boston Pizza, official sports bar of the Vancouver Canucks.
Kevin Bieksa gets turned around trying to block the shot. It takes a little longer to leave the stick. Gets turned and hits on the outside of the ankle, his left ankle, and he limps over to the bench. Last stoppage, he came out to give it a whirl.
Still hasn't played since. Tanev out there with Stanton. Daniel Sedin tips the puck to the Sharks blue line, comes back to it. Plays it in. Henrik was offside, so Santorelli will tag up along with the Canuck captain, and play continues. Vlasic from Burns and Thornton, the scoring play on the opening goal of the game.
Vlasic now has points in every game for San Jose, 4 in a row.
4 Canucks to center. Stanton leading the way to the line, into the middle for Santorelli. Vlasic was shaken up on that play. Looked like maybe he'd taken a stick to the face. Santorelli along the inboards for Daniel Sedin. Puck comes to Vlasic, who stays in the play and gets the puck ahead to Logan Couture. If there's a silver lining to this start, it's that the Canucks twice this season, prior to tonight, have given up the game's opening goal, and their record when that happens is 2-0. Pavelski down the right wing. Wrist shot, knocked away by Luongo. Garrison picks up the puck behind the goal line and starts out. And Hughes takes his pass, fires back to Garrison, and wrists the puck into the Sharks' end. Demers bumped by Weiss. Puck comes towards the goal, knocked away by Niemi and Scott Hanneman, playing in place of the suspended Brad Stewart. Ices the puck, and there'll be a face-off in the Sharks' zone.
Well, John, you mentioned Thomas Hertl and the night he had against the New York Rangers. It was quite a night for the teenage rookie. Scored 4 goals, and of course the one that most people are talking about, his 4th on the breakaway between the legs. Roof job, and for the most part, I think most people are A-okay with that move, but not Adam Oates.
Not Adam Oates, and not any old goalie. Not any old goalie who's a backup goalie gets thrown into a game like that.
I like Corey Schneider's response. Just stop it. It's not an issue.
Oh.
Make the save. Here's Santorelli. Pass back. One-timer Garrison, and fearlessly blocking that was Matt Nieto. Daniel Sedin lays for Henrik Sedin. Throws one through the crease. There's a San Jose penalty coming up. Delayed call. Luongo to the bench for the extra skater. That puck just held onside by Garrison. Kessler's come onto the ice to join the other 5. Daniel to Hamhuis. Slap pass. Kessler tried to tip it in front. Santorelli took a swing at it. Puck comes to Nieto, and the whistle blows. Canucks down a goal. We'll get a power play. A high sticking call puts the Sharks short-handed with 5.5 to go in the first. Canucks to the power play, and it's brought to you by Subway. It's $5 footlong time again at Subway restaurants. Enjoy a selection of footlongs for just $5 each. Subway, eat fresh.
Henrik Sedin gets caught. The high stick from Tommy Wingels. No, it's Daniel Sedin. They had the wrong Sedin, but Wingels has got the stick in his face.
You had the right Wingels. Here's Garrison with a drive, stopped by Niemi. Rebound clear to the side by Vlasic. And then the puck from the pass back to Garrison jumped over his stick, and Vancouver has to regroup at its own blue line. to Henrik Sedin. Thought about passing to Kessler, instead carried in with a feed to Daniel, who plays catch with Edler. Daniel Sedin down the left side, back to Alex Edler. Garrison, one-timer, kicked out, and the rebound just caught by Daniel Sedin, who would have had an open net. Henrik Sedin to Alex Edler. He risks one in front, blocked. Henrik after the loose puck, checked by Marleau, able to poke it to the side, and Edler taps it down the boards to Kessler. Cutting it on goal, Kessler centers, Henrik stopped by the left toe, rebound, Niemi stopped that as well, and the puck winds up behind the goal. Antti Niemi looking sharp as the Canucks try to tie this hockey game with a man advantage. There's a minute to go on the power play. And Marleau trying to get the puck out. It's gloved ahead by Pavelski, but he can't get it to center. Daniel Sedin down the right wing to Henrik. Now to Daniel, shoots, and a glove saved by Niemi, who hangs on for the whistle.
And the fans appreciative of this power play, moving the puck around so well. Jason Garrison shot and rebound in, just too hard for Daniel to handle. Ryan Kessler, lots of time to walk out of the corner, 2-on-1 down low. Antti Niemi making that stop in close. Just off the toe.
Canucks up to 11 shots in the game. San Jose's had 8, but it's 1-0 Sharks on the Mark-Edward Vlasic talent. And the puck cleared with 35 seconds to go on the penalty to Tommy Wingels. Dan Hamhuis to Kevin Bieksa. Might be his first shot since
I think
his shot blocked. Hamhuis holds the line. Down the boards, Higgins tried to further it. Now Santorelli into the corner for Booth. David Booth shielding the puck away from the Sharks, but it's taken away by Hannon, who plays it gently to the far corner. Bieksa down for the point to hold it in. Here's Booth looking in front centers. Santorelli took a chop at it, put it wide of the goal. Desjardins on the backhand elects to not try to get it out. Would have been handing it to Hamhuis at the line. Hamhuis under pressure from Wingels out of the box, passes the puck to Kevin Bieksa. So the Canucks coming close on the power play. They managed 5 shots at the man advantage, but they're 0 for 1 and still down 1-0 as Boyle passes the puck to Desjardins and he carries it out to center. Banks went ahead to Wingels. He's got a teammate in front. That's Burns. Wingels stops, doesn't center, drops. Braun with a shot. He missed the net. Vlasic at the blue line lets one go, and that sailed wide of the goal as well. Braun down the right side, in front. Backhander by Burns, stopped by Luongo. And the Canucks send the puck down the ice. It'll be icing with just over 3 minutes to go in the first.
Roberto Luongo, after a power play that really dominated, Canucks running around in their own zone. Roberto in good position down to make that save on Brent Burns. The spinorama backhand is deflected right in front by Dan Hamhuis, and Roberto still able to get the glove on.
Santorelli wins the face-off from Joe Thornton. Thomas Hertl to Brent Burns. Here's Thornton as the Sharks work the cycle game. Thornton to the blue line with a pass to Braun. Round for Hertl, gets the puck to the corner to Thornton. Joe Thornton hooks one across for Braun. He winds up picking up the puck in the corner. Pass for Burns, knocked away. Burns is onto the puck again. Vlasic at the line. Here's Braun, other side, wrist shot, missed the net. Thornton to Vlasic, good pressure from the Sharks. There's a shot blocked in front by Dan Hamhuis. 2:20 to go in the first. Nice move in traffic by Hertl. Now dives to try to keep the puck alive, but the Sharks will change as the Canucks take possession. Weiss at center. Backhands the puck in while falling down. Now gets it in, well, trying to get it in deeper, but it winds up deflecting over the glass for a whistle.
Canucks are really having problems handling the Joe Thornton line. He, Brent Burns, and Thomas Hertl are controlling play in the offensive zone, and John Tortorella is not going to like that. They're a big, strong line, and Joe Thornton is playing with such confidence right now, and the youngster is fitting in so well.
Tanev hit his own teammate Booth trying to get that puck in. Tanev gets it again at center. Quickly ahead to Daniel Sedin. Slap shot, gloved by Niemi. And he hangs on for the whistle. Well, it's a search for Canada's next sportscaster. Gillette drafted on Sportsnet 360, Fridays at 7 Pacific. Aspiring broadcasters compete for a 1-year contract at Sportsnet and a 1-year contract to be a Gillette spokesperson. You'd have to shave your mustache.
Yes. It'd be a Don Taylor or a James Cebulski or Dan Murphy.
Here's Patrick Marleau passing at the Vancouver blue line, and now argues the offside call, but the whistle blowing is Thor Nelson.
I think Thor was right. Patrick Marleau had his skate up in the air. Thor was saying you put yourself offside, and Patrick Marleau still talking to him about it.
Henrik Sedin waved out. David Booth on this shift, both prior to the whistle and upon the resumption of play, skating on the line with the Sedins. And now trying to force the puck into the Shark zone, works his way down the right side, cutting it on goal. And Couture was just able to reach in and get a piece of it. Now a centering pass knocked away by Niemi. And Marleau brings the puck to center, chips it into the Vancouver zone. Marleau picks it up himself and had his stick check just as he tried to let the shot go. Minute 20 to go in the first. San Jose leading 1-0. Booth has the puck again to Henrik Sedin. Henrik to Garrison. And he'll start a change by flipping the puck in. Irwin gets it along to Tyler Kennedy. Shepard just gets by Hansen and sweeps the puck into the Vancouver zone as we move to the final minute of the first period. Sharks get the puck, put it in front, they score! It's Matt Pelech who put that one in past Luongo in the final minute of the first period, and the Sharks take a 2-0 lead.
Ryan Stanton gets caught, jumps out of the way and behind the net, along the boards, and that creates some open ice for the Sharks to take advantage. There's Stanton reaches in with the stick and just pokes it right to one of the San Jose Sharks, James Shepard, who throws it out in front, and another bang-bang play. No chance for Roberto Luongo.
The nephew of Canucks general manager Mike Gillis, Matt Pelech, doubles the lead. And Matt Pelech gets his first of the season.
He's been up and down there. He and John McCarthy back and forth to the East Coast League.
Not just the first of the season, John, first of his career. 2-0 Sharks. The late goal. And Stanton now has the puck inside his own blue line. Icing call against the Canucks, and the face-off comes back into the Vancouver zone. James Shepard draws the only assist on the Pelech goal. It came at 19:02.
Nice play by James Shepard. There's Ryan Stanton just poking it through, and James Shepard does a nice job on Chris Tanev. Got body position, and when Stanton poked it through, Shepard was there to intercept and throw it out in front.
Holding the line is Braun. Left point, Vlasic. Back to Justin Braun. 10 seconds to go in the period. Sharks looking for one more. Vlasic shot blocked by Hansen. Now he takes off, hoping for a pass. But Higgins' feet got by him, and that'll do it for period one. Sharks scoring twice in the second half of the first period. Vlasic at 12:16, and then Matt Pelech in the final minute. And a 2-0 lead for the Sharks over Roberto Luongo's Canucks. We're going to hear from Jannik Hansen in our first intermission. He'll be in conversation with Jody Kenward. And Murph will convene the panel for the first time this season. Ian McIntyre and Tony Gallagher alongside. That's all ahead with the Sharks leading 2-0 here at Rogers Arena.
Welcome back to Vancouver. Visiting Sharks leading the Canucks 2-0 as we get set to drop the puck here in the second period. Scoring summary looks like this. Marc-Edouard Vlasic, second of the season, got the scoring going in this game. And then Matt Pelech's first NHL goal in the final minute of that first, giving the Sharks the 2-goal cushion. John?
Well, John, we didn't see the fourth line for the second half of last game against New Jersey, and it's been a tough scoring sheet for them here in this one.
You have to earn your ice time, and when you're a fourth line guy and you get out there, make sure they don't score on you. Everything you get out over the blue line, make sure that it goes all the way down. Just play a smart defensive game. Don't get scored on.
First line out to start this second period, and Daniel Sedin with a shot attempt wide of the San Jose goal. Canucks' recipe for success the last couple of games has been to fall behind by 2 and then come back to win in overtime. And they're going to have to think of something similar here against San Jose with the Sharks up 2-0 in the first minute of the second period. Jason Garrison couldn't catch up with that puck. It's held in by Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who opened the scoring for San Jose. Daniel Sedin to Garrison, who chops the puck in wide of the Sharks' goal. Santorelli trying to compliment on Vlasic, falls down. Marc-Edouard Vlasic fires ahead for Hertl, who tips the puck down into the Vancouver zone. No icing. Edler checked by Burns. Here's Thornton onto the puck. Joe Thornton puts it on the forehand, centers, deflects back, deflected on goal, and a nice save by Luongo on that shot from Irwin that changed direction. Higgins moving in. Hansen was offside on the right wing, so the whistle blows.
That's a great save by Roberto Luongo. Thomas Hertl's out in front. Roberto sees him, knows that there's a chance that it could be tipped, so he's way out. He gets close enough that when Hertl does tip it, he takes it off his body and is able to make the save.
Only shot of the period. Sharks with 11 in the hockey game. Canucks had a dozen on Niemi in the first period. 5 of them on their only power play and came close but couldn't beat him. Hertl tips the puck into the Vancouver zone. Edler back to pick it up. Gets it by Thornton. Higgins backhands it into the middle. Here's Bieksa. Chip pass ahead to Hansen, who dumps the puck in for Kevin Bieksa to skate after. Kessler in deep. Tried to find Hansen. Puck got by him. Now it's thrown forward to the teenager Hertl. Edler stood him up. And back to pick up the puck is Kevin Bieksa. Here's a turnover at the side. Wingle stopped by Luongo, who recovered just in time to move to his right and make the save. Close call there, and now Hansen gets the stick up on Nieto. There'll be a Vancouver penalty to Jannik Hansen. Delayed call. Wingle's in after the puck. Picks it up in the far corner, runs into David Booth, and as the Canucks touch the puck, the whistle blows, and Jannik Hansen will head to the box for high sticking.
Tommy Wingles had Roberto Luongo at his mercy. Turnover.
It's like the Miracle Mile of 54.
That's it. Had he taken it on his backhand, he had half the net, but pulled it to his forehand, and Jannik Hansen with the high sticking penalty. No doubt about that one.
Do I date myself when I reference the Empire Games and a race from 1954?
No.
Vancouver. Everybody knows the story. Bannister and Landy. If you don't, we have Google. Sharks power play 0 for 1. Trying to add to the 2-0 lead, but they'll have to start from their own end as Hamhuis sends the puck the length of the ice. Joe Thornton shoot in was blocked by Daniel Sedin, and that forced the Sharks offside.
We talked about Henrik and Daniel killing penalties. There was a perfect example of a smart play in the neutral zone by Henrik and Daniel. They don't have to block shots, but they're smart. They know where to go. They block that one, and they force the Sharks to go offside.
We've seen Daniel lay out to block a shot tonight.
Not on the penalty kill.
No, not on the penalty. No. He couldn't because he was in the box.
Long legs.
I only like it when you preface that statement with the word freakishly. Edler was having his hockey stick held there. Now again, Hertl tying it up. Burns in the centering pass, blocked by Bieksa. That allows Edler to ring the puck around and down the ice. Under a minute to go in the penalty to Jannik Hansen. Just past the 3-minute mark, second period. Sharks leading 2-0. Thomas Hertl to Jason Demers. Touch pass to Joe Thornton. Thornton behind the net for Demers. Gave the puck away to Hamhuis, who hammers it around. It's off Kennedy. And right to Chris Higgins. Kessler going to the net. Higgins spins. Backhander stopped by Niemi. And Thornton's back to pick up the loose puck. 20 seconds to go in the San Jose power play as Demers slams the puck in. Luongo, good job to cut it off. Works it free to Hamhuis. And he banks it out to center. Picked up by Mike Santorelli. Moving in on Scott Hannon. Santorelli stops. Banks the puck down for Brad Richardson. He and Boyle collide. Thornton wheels out with the puck as the penalty comes to an end. Sharks 0 for 2 on the power play, and the Canucks penalty killing 17 straight to start the season. But the Canucks still down 2-0. Marleau puts one in front. Richardson clears. And Braun passes back to Scott Hannon. Braun ahead to Pavelski. Close play at the line. Here's Couture. Shoots. Knocked down by Luongo. Rebound cleared out. Looked like Marleau might have just moved in there ahead of Couture. Ryan Stanton over the San Jose line. Puck comes through to Weiss. He's checked by Desjardins. Up the right side, Pavelski. To the trailer, Braun. Down the right side. Braun with a wrist shot. That ticked off the outside of the net, and Dale Weiss picks up the loose puck. Weiss to Stanton. And he plays the puck forward as we hit the 5-minute mark of the second period, and the visiting San Jose Sharks leading 2-0. Vlasic down the left side. That one off the side of the net. Poked away by Luongo. Picked up by Zach Dalpy. Ahead for Tom Sestito, who plays chip in charge on Boyle. Dalpy after the loose puck, able to one-hand it to the end boards. Bieksa holds it in. And Bieksa trying to hold it in again. Gets the puck free to Sestito. Dumps it in behind the San Jose goal. Another hold by Bieksa. Daniel Sedin after the puck. But the Sharks, Desjardins gets it ahead to Thornton. Looking in front. Thornton trying to bank one in off Luongo. Puck goes to the far side. Held in by Desjardins. Thornton from the corner to the blue line. Broken up by Daniel Sedin. Tied up by Hertl. And the puck comes out to center where it's collected by Brent Burns. Matt Irwin takes his pass and flips the puck in. And we're 6 minutes into the second period. Santorelli to Daniel Sedin. Trying to flip one ahead for Henrik. And that's icing. So a face-off upcoming in the Vancouver end.
Chris Higgins short-handed with Ryan Kessler. Didn't have a pass across. Defenseman stayed in the middle. What's he do? Spinorama. Antti Niemi stays right with it. Luongo on Logan Couture. Shoulders up high. Doesn't give him anything to shoot at. That was a good fourth line shift. That last one was a good fourth line shift. Played it in the offensive zone. Didn't try anything. Didn't throw the puck out blindly.
Bieksa backhands that one to center. Sharks turn it the other way. Kennedy couldn't catch up with the puck, and it's backhanded into the San Jose zone by Henrik Sedin. Hansen jumps over the boards to replace Santorelli. As Garrison makes an aggressive pinch from the right point and holds the puck in the Sharks zone. Scott Hannon under pressure, able to get the puck out to neutral ice, and Hansen there passes over to Dan Hanhus. Garrison around for Hanhus. Threw it up the middle. Intercepted by Marleau, but Hanhus able to get the puck back. Here's Henrik Sedin. Intercepting is Demers. Ooh, Hansen reaching out. All he could do was direct that puck towards the goal. Couldn't pick it off cleanly. Might have had a chance, but the Emmys team is still up 2-0.
Want the chance to win prizes each month? Play Canucks Fantasy Hockey powered by Rogers and compete against other fans. Pick your players for each game, collect the most points each month by making good picks, and you could win a team signed jersey and bragging rights. Go to CanucksFantasyHockey.com today.
I wonder if that V jersey had Garrett on the back.
Yes. Number 31, Eddie Lack, John Garrett.
Here's a chance for Stanton to load up, and a stick save by Antti Niemi. David Booth gets the puck behind the goal. Works it back to Tanev. Left point. Back for Tanev. Over his stick, off the boards and out. So Booth on this line with Kessler and Higgins. So a few different combinations. This was a line the Canucks used the last two games, but Hansen started in the spot on right wing to begin this one. Booth trying to come up with the puck on the far wall, and he's a little slow to get up. David Booth heading to the bench as Kessler tries to get the puck through center. Wingles plays it back into Vancouver territory. Now Kessler, the San Jose blue line. Checked by Matt Irwin. Boyle gets the puck and he backhands it out. I think Booth's all right.
They broke his stick. That was part of the problem.
There it is. Henrik Sedin drops. Daniel shoots. Stop. Rebound. Henrik on the wraparound. Couldn't jam it home. He got it all the way out. Put it to the goal line. Now a shot by Bieksa. And that hit a body in front. Don't know if Niemi made that save, but it looked like Henrik is going to be able to stuff it home. Long shooting. Blocked by Edler. Ahead to Daniel. Quickly to Henrik. Santorelli going to the goal. Daniel takes a drop pass. He shoots, and a glove save by Niemi, who hangs on.
Antti Niemi is looking so calm and cool and confident right now. Doesn't expend any energy. He did get that, John. Henrik's wraparound didn't go short side. It went all the way across, and Niemi gets it with his left pad. Shot is deflected in front of Niemi. Goes right into the glove off Mike Santorelli.
Jannik Hansen on a line with Richardson and Weiss. Hoping for a Richardson face-off win here and a chance to get a shot off, but it's Andrew Desjardins drawing the puck to the end boards. Sharks work it ahead, and it's tipped past Jason Garrison by James Shepard. Dan Hanhus with a quick pivot and a lead pass to Richardson, who plays the puck up the glass. Hansen's onto it and in on the right wing, cutting in the middle. Puck deflects to Weiss, drops for Hanhus, quick shot, and that hit Hansen in front, I think, and he was being checked by Vlasic. Shepard bodied by Weiss. Helping out is Matt Pelech, who plays the puck in. Luongo, a little trouble out of the net, but able to get it by Desjardins. And the Canucks get the puck to center. Here's Weiss trying to lead for Richardson, but he missed the puck. Garrison follows up, gets it in deep, and the Canucks make a full change. 9 minutes into the second period. Sharks still up 2-0. Here's Brent Burns. Bieksa and Thornton, with Bieksa stepping into Joe Thornton. Puck center. Thornton gets it. Dumps it to the near corner. Thomas Hertl there. He was checked. Irwin holds the line. Bieksa went down. Here's Thornton looking in front. Joe Thornton in front for Hertl. Couldn't tap it home as the pass came through the crease. Burns walks the line. Down the right side. Shoots. And that's off Edler, I think, and over the glass for a whistle.
Again, this line for San Jose giving the Canucks all sorts of problems. Almost off Kevin Bieksa's skate. And into the net. Thomas Hertl coming in. Another hard pass by Joe Thornton. 19 years old, can't rent a car in California. Doesn't have a car yet. Relies on Alex Stalock, the backup goaltender, to get him to practice.
Can he rent one when he's 20? Because that'll be November the 12th.
21 in California.
For the car, too, huh? They make you wait for a lot of things. Daniel Sedin to Mike Santorelli. Moving it on Demers. Santorelli looking for trailers. Winds up hooking the puck to the corner for Daniel. Tries to find Henrik, who tracks down the puck on the near side. Pass for Daniel. Broken up. Santorelli keeps the puck alive to Henrik Sedin. Henrik leads for Daniel. Pass comes to Tanev at the blue line. Left point, Stanton. Wrist one in front. Santorelli scores! Look out, Thomas Hertl. Santorelli's got his fourth. And the Canucks are on the board.
And what a nice play by this defense pairing that got burned on that second San Jose goal. Stanton and Tanev. Tanev across to Stanton. Sees Santorelli skating through the middle. The hard pass tipped by Santorelli. No doubt about that one, John. Good hard pass. Stick right through Jason Demers and Antti Niemi.
Early Cy Young candidate Mike Santorelli with his fourth goal, no assists. And we'll see what this does for the Canucks' fortunes within one, just past the halfway mark of the second period. Sharks, after the puck in the Vancouver zone, picking it up is Jannik Hansen. Goes off Kennedy, who's knocked down by Hanhus. Hanhus trapped here as the Sharks break in. Marleau overskated the puck as he tried to get a shot away. Hansen able to play it to the corner where Couture takes control. Here's Kennedy. Back to Vlasic. Fakes the shot. Finds Braun. Lets it go. Loose. And onto it is Jason Garrison, who backhands the puck out. Offside is Marlowe. Whistle blows. 8:58 to go in the second. Mike Santorelli has the Canucks in the hunt. They're within one thanks to a deflection goal on Antiniemi.
Take the family to a Canucks game with the Family Nights packs presented by Cineplex and QMFM. Tickets starting $42 plus service fees each. Pack also includes free Cineplex movie passes, 2 theater popcorn vouchers, and a team store discount. Visit Canucks.com/Family Nights to book yours today.
Sharks leading 2-1 as we welcome those who've been watching the Chicago Bears defeat the New York Giants on Sportsnet Pacific. 6-point victory for the Bears. And the Canucks, who fell behind 2-0, have a goal from Mike Santorelli and are within one as Brent Burns moves in with a sharp angle shot stopped by Roberto Luongo. Hertl outmuscles Bieksa for the puck. Thomas Hertl. 6 goals on the season, 4 of them in the one game against the Rangers. Puck comes back to Boyle. Irwin moves down, shoots, and right into the crest in the jersey of Roberto Luongo, who hangs on.
For help finding the best tires for your vehicle and your budget, talk to Cal during our Don't Wait for Winter sale. Featuring the Michelin X-Ice Xi3. Sale ends November 2nd.
John Shorthouse, John Garrett, Dan Murphy, our entire Sportsnet crew here at Rogers Arena. The second of a 3-game homestand for the Canucks, who opened with the win against New Jersey, and will wrap it up Saturday against Montreal before the lengthy 7-game road trip. All 7 of those games on Sportsnet. Here's Vlasic to the corner, trying to angle one in front. Luongo poked it away. Hamhuis falls down. Kennedy, the ex-Penguin, centers. Marlowe scores! Set up by Tyler Kennedy. Patrick Marlowe ripped it short side, and it's back to a 2-goal lead for the Sharks.
Well, Dan Hamhuis got in trouble in the corner, and then Henrik Sedin was on Patrick Marlowe, but not close enough. The pass comes out, and Marlowe one-times it through. Dan Hamhuis is in trouble in the corner, both defensemen. Daniel there. Pass to Marlowe, and he just one-times it by Roberto Luongo. And again, no chance for the Canuck goaltender.
Third of the year for Patrick Marlowe, who last year had 8 goals in the first 4 games of the season. Tying the NHL record with 4 consecutive multi-goal games to begin a season.
Unbelievable. The Sharks last year won 7 in a row to start the season, then lost 12 of their next 15.
So the Sharks back into a much more comfortable 2-goal advantage. Stanton passes ahead. Daniel Sedin quickly to Henrik, who's poke-checked to the blue line. Stanton follows up, wrists one in wide of the goal as the Canucks change. Here's Vlasic. Up the middle, knocked away by Stanton, cleared out by Tanev, and Justin Braun takes possession ahead to Matt Pelech, who flips the puck in. And that's an icing play. And on the whistle, we can tell you about a winner on Safeway Score and Win for Safeway and Sponge Towels Ultra. The only Canuck goal scorer thus far, Mike Santorelli, and thanks to that, Pam Crockett of Vancouver's won a Troy-built premium single-stage snow thrower with electric start.
You get in the right area and give the guy a target. Santorelli, right area, and give Stanton a target. And the easy tip it.
Here's Garrison with a blast, blocked in front. Does your snow thrower have an electric start, or is it manual?
Yes. Our friend Guru Mendez here from Saskatoon. I'm sure he's got the electric start.
James Shepard after the puck. Bodied by Hamhuis. Desjardins onto it. Kessler trying to stay with him. Tommy Wingles. Round to the near side. Hannon moves down from the left point. Broken up by Garrison. Kessler gets the puck and he plays it out. Shots are 18 apiece, but the Sharks with a 3-1 lead. Kessler backhands the puck in. Booth moves in on Demers. David Booth, opportunity to get the puck in the corner. Demers Pokes it away from him. And out comes Matt Nieto, and David Booth has broken another stick. Sharks offside here. They'll tag up as Kessler passes to Chris Tanev. Tanev gains the red and plays one around past the end to the far side. Demers is there for San Jose with a pass to Scott Hannon. Tanev trying to hold the puck, and he does. Henrik to an open side. Nobody there but Joe Thornton, who swings the puck back to Demers. Pass for Hannon out of his reach, and Chris Tanev takes control of the puck. Under 6 minutes to go, second period, as Niemi handles a long shoot-in off the stick of Alex Edler. And we'll take a break with Antti Niemi's team back up by 2. Under 6 to go in the second in Vancouver.
National League Championship Series gets going tomorrow on Sportsnet. Dodgers versus the Cardinals, 5 o'clock in the Pacific region. Craig McEwen in St. Louis to report.
So are the Canucks just playing possum again, John?
I wonder if, yes, they've set this up. I wonder if Craig McEwen is at Maggie O'Brien's.
Oh, yes.
Watch the Canucks play.
Favorite haunt of traveling media members. Here's a chance for Santorelli to load up. He shoots, and a glove save for Niemi. Mike Santorelli, who for the first time in his career has scored in 3 consecutive games, looking for his second of the night right there.
And no traffic in front. That was the problem on this. Nice play by Santorelli to get some open ice. Daniel is trying to get to the front of the net, but a nice job by Vlasic to keep Daniel out of the shooting lane.
Henrik against Kennedy on the faceoff. Daniel after the puck on the boards. Ron is on him. Puck comes free to Vlasic, who reverses, and here comes Kennedy. Ahead to Logan Couture. He sends one hard around to the near corner. Stanton checked by Marlowe. Couture to the other side. Kennedy in pursuit of Daniel Sedin. Daniel works the puck free for Santorelli, but he was checked before he could move it. Now Tanev able to clear the zone, and back for the puck goes Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Hertl wants the quick up. There it is, but not as quickly as he would have liked it. He's able to tip it through for Burns, who's just offside. And on the whistle, we'll check in with Murph.
Guys, we have time to tell you that Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game between the Sharks and Canucks is Sponge Towels Ultra.
Doug Wilson's done a nice job in acquiring guys. He got Tyler Kennedy in the summer, and he's good on faceoffs as a lot of the San Jose guys. And there he just takes Henrik Sedin, wins the draw, and takes Henrik out of the play so that his team can gain control.
Kevin Bieksa in a battle for the puck. Hertl now fighting forward with Edler. Canucks come up with the puck, and Booth has it at center, sliding it into the San Jose zone. Under 5 minutes left. Second period.
And Ryan Kessler's going to get a penalty in the offensive zone just behind the goal line.
You can get on your soapbox again about which official called it.
Well,
you tell him, Johnny.
well,
you tell the world.
This one is a legit penalty where Ryan Kessler is just reaching lazily and takes a tripping penalty.
Luongo touches the puck. There's the whistle and a hooking call to Ryan
Kessler.
Kessler.
Called a hooking, but on the forecheck, David Booth did a nice job getting in hard, and Ryan Kessler on Dan Boyle, and you can see Kessler knew right away that had the arm up in the air. I'm not guilty, but really I am.
Quick skate lace adjustment for Dan Hamhuis. And then he'll go to work on the penalty kill as the Canucks try to continue what has been a real bright spot of their game early in the season. Thornton against Richardson on the faceoff, with San Jose looking to take its biggest lead of the night, already up 3-1. Puck comes to Hamhuis behind the goal as Garrison did some work in the corner, and Dan Hamhuis slams the puck down the ice. Santorelli and Richardson up front on the kill. 4 minutes left, second period. Marlowe. Hamhuis couldn't come up with that one cleanly. And Thornton has the puck, checked by Richardson, who backhands it out. Sedin's come on a penalty killing roll. Pavelski has room to move in. Drops back. Boyle bobbled the puck. Thornton's there to help him out with a pass to Couture. Trying to get it back to Thornton. Henrik Sedin had a chance to move out with it. Now Daniel does. Thornton's one of the men back as the Sedins move out 2-on-2. Crisscrossing twice. Here's Garrison, the trailer. And reaching in was Thornton to deflect that one on a play.
Joe Thornton, not a defenseman, as you mentioned, gets turned around, but still is able to react and get over as Jason Garrison tried to jump up. Joe wasn't looking forward to that. Henrik and Daniel Sedin coming down. Got him turned all the way around.
Chris Higgins tried to step around Kennedy on that faceoff. Demers wound up with a puck, and he starts out with under a minute to go on the penalty to Ryan Kessler. Kennedy back to Demers, settles the puck, fires down to Tyler Kennedy. Across to Irwin, who reached back for the pass, now finds Demers. To Matt Irwin, fakes the shot. Demers again. Here's Kennedy with room. Wrist shot off the crossbar, and that puck goes out of play. Sharks that close to making it a 3-goal game.
Alex Edler and Roberto Luongo talking to each other after this long shot. It gets by Alex Edler, who's standing out in front. I think Roberto might have got a piece of that. Doesn't see it.
Not close.
Hurdles in front.
Off the bar and straight out, so the faceoff stays in the Vancouver zone. And Pavelski wins the faceoff. Boyle, one-timer. Luongo got a piece of that as Boyle was set up by Patrick Marleau. Puck comes to Santorelli, and he sends it off the glass and down the ice with 20 seconds to go in the penalty to Ryan Kessler. Just over 2.5 minutes left, second period. Sharks leading 3-1. Marleau in on goal. Poke check by Luongo, who read that play well, and he covers the puck.
That's really an improvement in Roberto Luongo's game over the years, is his use of the stick, not just shooting the puck, but not afraid to use the poke check. Reads it well, bouncing puck. Marleau's in tight. Roberto slides the hand up, gets the stick out, and makes a good poke check. Reads it well. Look at full extension.
He was ready early there, wasn't
He
he?
was ready.
Desjardins against Richardson on the faceoff. Just 8 seconds to go on the San Jose power play. And onto the puck is Santorelli. Another prominent game for him. Has the goal, and he's done a good job with the penalty killing unit. As Kessler steps back on, Sharks are 0 for 3. And amazingly, the Canucks penalty killers remain a +2 on the season in terms of goals for and against, as the Sharks go offside at the Vancouver blue line.
And you don't want to put the whammy on them.
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
Well, I've mentioned the streak every time they've taken a penalty tonight, and they've killed off all 3. You're not buying it.
Oh.
Look at you with your fingers crossed, your toes are crossed, you've crossed your legs.
You can mention it, but don't mention the number.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Hansen was trying to break through on that lead pass. Puck got away from him, but he's able to tip it to Weiss. Puck comes free to Nieto. Breaking it up is Stanton. Tanev takes control. Up to Yannick Hansen. Moving in on Scott Hannon. Plays the puck to the corner. Demers back court. Body by Weiss and knocked to the ice. Stanton on the other side threw a hit, and complaining that it was a high hit is Tommy Wingels. Tanev tried to get that one in, blocked by Nieto. Hansen's onto the puck with 1.5 minutes to go in the second period, and Demers goes back at Weiss. Weiss took a glove punch towards him. Demers has lost a glove, but he stays out there. Puck comes to center to Patrick Marleau. He leaves for Couture, who's in over the Vancouver blue line with a wrist shot, gloved by Luongo, who reached out, and he hangs on.
Dale Weiss with a good solid hit. Demers didn't like it. Luis, quick hit, shoulder to shoulder.
Daniel Sedin skates the puck to center, slides it into the corner. Vlasic there, double teamed by the Sedins, but Couture is able to shovel the puck to Kennedy, who passes to the near side at center. And the puck is played forward by Justin Braun. Final minute, second period. Sharks, Couture has the puck, throwing it in front. Burns trying to get a one-timer away, went off the heel of his stick, and David Booth skates down the left wing, wide on Braun. Booth throws on the brakes. Passes behind the net for Henrik Sedin. He's checked. The exit trying to hold the puck into the right point, but it's tipped past him by Thomas Hertl. Alex Edler sends one to center, knocked down by Thornton, and he passes up for Hertl with 30 seconds to go in the second period. The exit to the side for Higgins. He finds Santorelli. The exit takes his pass, chips the puck down the right side, goes after it. Tried to center, that deflects to Hertl, who gets the puck out. He's going to skate after it himself, but Edler's there. Oh, he took a run at Hertl. The helmet came off as Wingels moves down with a shot stopped by Luongo. The whistle blows, and there goes Wingels after Alex Edler for the hit at center on the rookie Thomas Hertl. Strump in the Vancouver goal crease as Edler focused on the man and not on the puck, and the helmet of Hertl came popping off.
Well, you can see the hit coming, and I'm surprised Thomas Hertl didn't see it coming.
There's no penalty for the hit.
No penalty, a race for the puck. Here comes Alex Edler, and Hertl gets the hit.
Neither referee deemed it a penalty.
No.
And will it be viewed
By
along the lines of the Stewart hit, or is it on Rick Nash? Hertl seems to be all right, which...
That does come into play.
Yeah.
The Shark bench doesn't like it one little bit. They're all standing, yapping away.
Face off outside the Vancouver line, and that will... Oh, Wingels took a run at Hamhuis right in the last seconds. Hamhuis gave him a little jab with the stick, but everybody seems to be willing to skate off. Santorelli has a goal for the Canucks, but that's it for the offense. Roberto Luongo beaten 3 times, and the Sharks up by a pair. Don Taylor's going to have an update for us in our second intermission, and we'll hear from the panel again. Dan Murphy joined by Tony Gallagher of the Province and Ian McIntyre of the Vancouver Sun. 2 periods done, and it's the Sharks up by a pair, 3-1 San Jose at Rogers Arena.
Welcome back to Vancouver. Sharks with a 2-goal lead over the Canucks heading into the third period of play. Hey, the scoring summaries are brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago. Sharks took a 2-0 lead in the first. Goals by Vlasic and Pelech. In the second, Santorelli cut the lead to 1 before Patrick Marleau restored the 2-goal lead. John?
So Canucks down 2 as we get set for the third period face-off. Sedins and Santorelli up front for Vancouver. It's been a tough face-off night for Henrik Sedin, and he loses that one to Logan Couture. Henrik Sedin at center. Pass for Santorelli. Sharks send that the other way, and here's Dan Hamhuis. Puck sent in by the Canucks. Daniel Sedin after it on Braun. Couture works it free to Justin Braun, who circles his net and starts out. Both teams changing as Luongo comes out and leads for Jason Garrison. Kessler, Booth, and Hansen up front for Vancouver. Hansen tips that one past Boyle. And in behind the San Jose goal, Niemi out of the net. Puck played to the near side. Hansen after it. Kessler comes up with the puck, runs into Joe Thornton. And Matt Irwin passes up the middle to Brent Burns. Edler tips that one away. Kessler's onto the puck for Vancouver. Cuts the middle, tried a wrist shot, but as he loaded up, he was poke checked. And back comes Hertl to the Vancouver line, put himself offside, and the whistle blows. Let's check out our fresh take brought to you by Subway. It's $5 footlong time again at Subway restaurants. Enjoy a selection of footlongs for just $5 each. Subway, eat fresh.
Well, it's a fresh take on penalty killing by Chris Higgins. Man down, take the shot on the spinorama. Looked away, looked at Ryan Kessler going to the net. He's covered and then used the spinorama backhand. And that's a fresh take to kill some time.
Higgins out there with Richardson and Weiss. And an icing call against Vancouver will bring the face-off back into the Canucks zone.
Chris Higgins has had a couple of great chances again in this game. Antti Niemi, probably his best save of the game was on Chris Higgins in the first period, a bang-bang play off the pad. That's the way it goes. You get on a streak where everything goes in and then you can't buy one. Joey McDonald in Calgary dove across with the stick in desperation and stopped, guess who? Chris Higgins.
Canucks came back to win that one in overtime. Would jump all over that if you gave them the opportunity right now. Having a little trouble in their own end. Richardson gets the puck out. And that won't be enough. Well, maybe it will be enough for icing. It is just. And the face-off comes down into Vancouver territory again.
Jason Demers skating after it like you would skate. John Tortorella looks on after another icing.
Lost his first game as Canucks coach, but has won 3 straight since. Here's Vlasic. Up for Kennedy. Couture chases in after that one. Garrison gets there first, around to Tom Sestito, who gets the puck past Braun and out to center. Zach Dalpe on the ice for this his 4th shift of the hockey game. Sestito, this is his 5th. And Yannick Weber, this is his 4th as well, like Dalpe. Sestito after the puck in the corner to the right of Niemi. Santorelli and Henrik Sedin have come up to replace the other two. Sestito stays out as the puck is center, trying to find it in his skates. Trying to kick it free for Henrik now, and he does. Back to Garrison. Left point hand, his pass was out of his reach. Puck shipped away from him. And Thomas Hertl picks it up, slides it deep into the Vancouver zone. Hertl throws a hit on Garrison, who passes to the side to Daniel Sedin. Pass blocked. Couture ridden into the boards by Hamhuis as he played the puck into the Vancouver zone. Just about 3 minutes into the third. Garrison, long pass to Santorelli. Takes a return feed from Henrik. Santorelli in, drops for Henrik Sedin, who shoots. That was blocked by Demers. Marleau just gets rid of the puck, and this will be an icing against San Jose. Here's Dan Murphy.
Well, guys, there's Matthew Nieto, the rookie from Long Beach. Had himself a game the other night, scored his first National Hockey League goal, collected 2 more assists. It was just a fantastic night for the young man. Unfortunately, it happened on the same night that Hertl scored 4, so he was somewhat overshadowed.
Nice of you to point it out, however. 2nd round pick in 2011. So we got a little publicity from Murph. This goes a long way, and another icing call against the Sharks brings the face-off down.
It's always nice when you have those guys come through. And Nieto is a 47th pick. Thomas Hertl, not top 10.
17th overall was Hertl.
Said he never had a hat trick even in the Czech League. National Hockey League's easy.
There's a stick save by Niemi Alexander. Hansen fighting for the puck. Came towards the middle. Now it's off Kessler and stays in the San Jose zone. Scott Hansen gets it out to center. Edler there. Passes over to Kevin Bieksa. Ahead to Ryan Kessler. Deflects the puck into the corner. Hansen moves in on Hannon. David Booth on the other side. Puck is by him and back out to neutral ice. Stanton's pass for Tanev. Went over the stick of Chris Tanev, but the Canucks recover and get it to center to David Booth. 4 minutes into the third. Here's Joe Pavelski. Up for Wingles. Icing waved off. He and Tanev chase after the puck. Pavelski gets it on the right wing. Fanned as he tried to wristed on goal, and now a pass to the blue line by Nieto goes the length of the ice, and Niemi's out of his goal to corral the puck for Matt Irwin. Sharks won't mind this one bit. Not much happening here in the third.
Another icing.
Another icing, another check-in with Murph.
Guys, all the latest news about goaltending and goalies can be found in our net worth feature on sportsnet.ca. Check it out.
Okay, Aspen.
Are you part of it?
No.
Who'd they go with? Charlie Simmons?
Probably.
No respect, huh?
None.
Here's Daniel Sedin. Tried to play the puck in, comes back to him. One-handed it forward for Santorelli. That was broken up. Pass up the middle, and here's Hurdle cutting on goal. Stopped by Luongo. Rebound, he couldn't get a shot away. There's Roberto Luongo stared down Thomas Hurdle, looking for his 7th of the season. Braun at the right point. To Brent Burns, quick shot. That missed the net. Thornton holds the puck in. Brings it around to the near side. Daniel Sedin comes up with it for Vancouver. And gets it out. Burns had to get by him, but he recovers to knock it away from Henrik Sedin. Henrik waiting. Passes across. Weiss onto the ice. He missed the puck. And Thornton has it at center, dumping it into the Vancouver zone. No icing. The Extra tried to let it get over the goal line. Lonnie Cameron gave him every opportunity, but it just wasn't going to happen. Niemi stops that one and leaves for Braun. Goes a full 360 and brings the puck around for Matt Pelech. Tamhus stepped up on him. Tamhus goes down awkwardly.
Missed them.
Loose puck at the blue line. James Shepard holds it in. Tamhus goes back. Turns in the corner. Now he's hit by Pelech. Shepard checked by Garrison. Fans trying to spur the Canucks on. We're 6 minutes into the third. And the Canucks have managed just one shot in the period. Wingles deflects the puck into the Vancouver end. Tips it free for Pavelski. Behind the net for Wingles. Tanev read that well. Got to the puck, flipped it forward, didn't get it out. Nieto working to hold the puck in. Now it's out to center. And chipped ahead by Yannick Weber. So this will be icing as he contacted that puck in his own side of center.
Thomas Hurdle is a big guy with great hands. Takes his pass and is in alone. Bouncing pass like he had glue on his stick. Takes it as a backhand shot. Roberto Luongo stayed right with him. Protects the puck. He's the small guy on the line at 6'2", 210. Chances are he's going to put on some weight. He's still just a kid.
That is a sizable trio. Burns and Thornton, towering figures. Hurdle, no slouch. Burns and Hurdle working the forecheck in the corner. Tanev had the puck momentarily. Hurdle's back onto it. They strum along the boards, and Kessler digs the puck free. Checked immediately by Burns. Puck comes to the line, held in by Irwin. Wrist shot blocked. Stanton flips the puck out. 7 minutes into the third. Sharks leading 3-1. Looking for a 4th straight win out of the gate. Boyle. Content to kill time. Gets a return pass for Irwin. Up ahead for Kennedy. He deflects the puck in. Edler turns it the other way. Kessler ahead for Bieksa. And Kessler follows up, but he brought the puck in from the neutral zone. So an offside whistle stops play, and we'll step aside. Zach Delpy hasn't played a lot in this game, and his team.
Are you looking for an unforgettable way to host business clients, reward staff, or have a birthday party or special event? Vancouver Canucks single game suites available now in a range of sizes and prices to suit any occasion. To learn more or to book your suite now, visit Canucks.com/single game suites or call 604-899-7423.
Zach Dalpe gets hit with the puck along the boards. It skips up off a stick, catches him in the nose. Like Bernstein's been working on him.
Our crack crew all over it. Greg Breckel trying to show it to me. Going to break, and of course Zach turned his head. so we couldn't see the damage done. Here's Jason Garrison ahead to Daniel Sedin. 3 Canucks on this rush. Daniel with a shot, hoping for a rebound with Santorelli going to the net, but Niemi was able to steer it to the corner. Tyler Kennedy to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Wrist shot juggled by Luongo, but he hangs on with 11:57 to go in the third period.
San Jose Sharks have gone in their defensive mode. Usually they just fire everything, and there was a long shot. 133 shots in their first 3 games. 50 against Phoenix. And big shot total against the Rangers. Again, hammered in Anaheim again. Henrik Lundqvist goals against it looked like mine.
Lotto?
Oh.
Still one of your greatest quotes ever. After a first start of the year win over the Minnesota North Stars. The good news is we won. The bad news is my goals against average is 9.
We won 10-9. That was it for all 9. What was the hook that night?
There's Brad Richardson with a centering pass. Winds up in the corner. Demers reverses for Hannon. He's hit by Higgins. Richardson digging for the puck on Demers. Richardson keeps after it. Higgins to the side, comes in front, and Weiss couldn't get good wood on that. Here's Stanton in deep. That went off a leg and into the far corner. Richardson, poke check. Nieto trying to get the puck out. Good work by Richardson again to check it, and again to hold it in along the boards. Good shift here for Brad Richardson. Higgins from the corner. Chris Higgins cycles for Richardson. Leaves in the corner for Higgins again. Weiss, the third member of this forward unit, there in support as the Sharks. Pavelski briefly had the puck, but Higgins has it again. Back to Tanev. Over to Stanton. Checked by Wingwills, but the puck stays in the zone. Richardson fires down to Weiss. Higgins hustles after the loose puck as the fans react to Weiss being taken down to the corner by Hammond. Weiss trying to bring the puck to the front. Stanton holds it in. Everybody's out of gas, and the Sharks ice it. And this might be their turn to take a timeout after an extended shift in the San Jose end of the ice.
Dale Weiss with a good scoring chance as the Richardson line forces the issue. Control the boards. Chris Higgins out to Dale Weiss, who just can't make contact. Chris Higgins does a nice job protecting the puck. Scott Hannon could have been called for holding the stick. Got away with that one. You were right, John. Coach Shorthouse called your timeout again.
Tom McCullen spending it as the Canucks plan to send out the Sedins and Santorelli once the puck is dropped, and he didn't want it to happen against a tired group. Scott Hannon trying to catch his breath with the other San Jose skaters. Nearing the halfway mark. Third period. John Tortorella trying to keep the spirits up with his team down a pair. See if the Canucks can build on the momentum of a good shift at the very least. Still with only 2 shots in the period. 9.5 minutes in.
Well, here's a face-off. Hendricks really had trouble in this game. 35% after 2 periods.
Against Pavelski. Thor Nelson directing traffic, now set to drop the puck. Henrik is able to draw it. Santorelli gets it to Edler. Long shot blocked. Here's Santorelli again. Into the corner. Now turns back up the boards with a pass to Edler. Edler wrists one on goal. Knocked away. Nieto after the puck. Checked by Henrik Sedin. Referee telling him to play it. The puck is tied up along the boards. Nieto and Pavelski there for the Sharks. Canucks able to get it back to the exit. Left point, Edler. Wrist shot. Gloved by Niemi. An important save there as he was able to hang on and get a whistle and an all-important line change.
Scott Hannon is such a smart defenseman, and he gets position on Henrik Sedin. The puck goes back to Alex Edler, and Henrik is trying to get in position to tip that one, and Scott Hannon has body position and won't let him get in front. Like Santorelli is reaching in. Amazing he didn't get that one. He's been so hot.
takes a break as Kessler comes out with Booth and Hansen. Kessler wins the face-off. Hughes missed the puck, but is able to recover to hold it onside. Here's Hansen trying to make a play at the side of the goal. Works his way to the corner. Behind the net for Booth. Tipped away from him by Matt Irwin. Booth keeps after the puck. Down for Hansen. Jannik Hansen in front. Booth shoots! Handled by Niemi. No rebound for Kessler, who is being tied up by Tyler Kennedy. Under 10 minutes to go. Canucks needing a comeback. They're down by 2.
Up and swipe your club card at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecasts and you could win a week of unlimited luxury at Dreams Resorts and Spas, courtesy of redtag.ca.
It's about 9.5 minutes to go. The Canucks, a couple of good shifts in a row.
No traffic in front, and when Antti Niemi is playing like this, you're going to have to get an ugly one. It's going to have to be a screen or a tip. Much like the Santorelli goal.
Drawing a penalty might be a step in the right direction. Canucks only had 1 power play. Sharks have had 3. Dan Boyle passes behind his own net. Irwin after the puck. Kessler tracks him down. And Sharks ice the puck again. Not sure what the over-under was for Sharks icings in this third period, but I would say they've already hit the over.
Bob McClellan looking on. Larry Robinson's done a nice job with the defense for the San Jose Sharks. And guys like Marc-Edouard Vlasic have really come into his own in the last couple of years with Larry there.
Face-off win for Henrik Sedin. Alex Edler with a shot. That went off a stick and wide of the goal on the short side. Henrik hits Marleau in the corner. Daniel Sedin after the puck. Bumped by Irwin. Henrik tried to bring it in front. Boyle there to pass it ahead to Patrick Marleau, who banks it past Bieksa. Now chases onto it. Marleau checked by Bieksa, who had lost a step. Marleau stepping around him. Bieksa able to recover and check the stick. Now Bieksa the offensive end with a good move in the neutral zone. He tips the puck in. Body's drawn. Henrik tried to feed back to Edler. That was blocked. Brent Burns after the puck. Santorelli checks him. Vlasic able to free it up for Thornton. Edler moved down to try to hold the puck in, but the Sharks get it down inside the Vancouver blue line. Now it's Hurdle around Bieksa, and Luongo again with the poke check. Able to knock the puck to the corner. Edler around to Daniel Sedin. End of his shift, he slides the puck in and heads to the bench. 8 minutes to go. Braun ahead for Burns. He gloves the puck forward. Hughes passes back to Garrison. Dan Hughes again. Puts one in off the glass. Vlasic able to get it by Richardson to Braun, and a saucer pass to Joe Pavelski. He feeds to an open wing, and Garrison is there. Puck deflects to Brad Richardson. Quickly ahead to Chris Higgins. Checked by Boyle. Hughes comes in support. Richardson covering for Hughes, who now retreats to the left point. Hughes, Garrison shoots. That went off Shepard and wide of the goal. Hold your breath when Jason Garrison loads up. But that one ticked off the San Jose forward and went wide. Garrison in his own zone now finds Hughes. Pass picked off by Kennedy, who's had a strong game. Tyler Kennedy dumps the puck into the Vancouver zone, and Luongo stops it behind the goal. Here's Sestito at center. As Canucks' fourth line comes out for another shift, but Kennedy has the puck. Fell down under the check of Sestito. Play goes on. Vlasic rushes the puck in. Wrist shot attempt deflected high and wide by Chris Tanev. Tanev onto the loose puck with 6.5 to go in the third. Up to center for Sestito. He's checked. Back comes Hurdle. Just onside was Burns. Hurdle for Thornton. One hands it on goal, and Luongo stayed with the play and stopped the puck and held on.
Remember in the first period when Kevin Bieksa blocked that shot?
Yep.
We were very concerned. Patrick Marleau chips it by Kevin Bieksa. And what happens when you've got a sore foot? You can't push. You can't push off. And Kevin Bieksa gets beaten by Marleau. And then Thomas Hurdle, same thing as Kevin. You just can't push off. You can't use that foot. and you can see him hobbling towards the bench after that shift where he was beaten twice.
Here's a shot by Irwin wide of the goal. Booth bodied by Burns. They collide again. Puck comes free to Edler. Round for Bieksa. Gets the puck off the boards and out. Booth chasing after it. The San Jose blue line. Off his stick and Boyles, and the puck out of play for another whistle.
San Jose is such a team, productive team right now. They're scoring, John. Three of the 4 lines have goals for San Jose. The Thornton line has dominated when they've been out there.
Sharks playing with 5 defensemen at the moment. Jason Demers is not at the bench. So extra work for the remaining 5, including the right-hand shot Braun, who's out there right now with Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Braun collects the puck at his own blue line, feeds Vlasic up to Couture, who deflects the puck down. No icing as Marleau moves in with Tanev in pursuit. Santorelli gets the puck, flips it ahead to center, right to Daniel Sedin, who was able to get it over to Henrik, just onside, back for Daniel, trying to get it across for Santorelli on the right wing. That was broken up and the puck is cleared. Here's Kevin Bieksa. Gets to center and plays the puck in. Demers has played 5 shifts here in the 3rd period. So his absence somewhat recent. With 5 minutes remaining and the Sharks leading 3-1. Ooh, Wingles and Shepard in a collision that could have been a whole lot worse. Didn't see each other coming. Now Shepard takes a pass at center. Can't get it by Edler the first time. Gets the puck again and throws it to the far corner.
Shots are 5-4 here in the 3rd. Playing with a 3-1 lead, that's exactly what you want.
Brent Burns onto a puck, fires that one wide. Here's Scott Hannon towards the goal, blocked by Bieksa, who gets the puck to Booth. Booth for Bieksa, let it go through, hoping the puck would go to Jannik Hansen. The Sharks take it away and flip it back to the Vancouver blue line. Here's Garrison ahead for Booth. Hurdle breaks it up and passes back to Vlasic. Save for a couple of good possession shifts in the offensive zone. Not a lot to cheer about here in the 3rd period for the fans. With 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Weiss after a dumping into the San Jose zone. Puck comes to Higgins. Try to get it back to Garrison, and that's picked off by Kennedy. Takes his time before wristing the puck into the Vancouver zone. Dan Hanhus up for Henrik Sedin. Higgins still out there, hoping for a pass from Henrik going to the net. Now Higgins along the boards. Thornton gets the loose puck, checked by Higgins and Santorelli. Comes back to Garrison, fakes the shot, finds Hanhus, wasn't expecting it. And now the Sharks bring it out. Hard pass for Hurdle was deflected by Garrison. That put the Sharks offside. They'll bring the face-off all the way down the ice on the intentional offside. With the Sharks with 3 to go, still up by 2. The game summary is brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliance, and big screen TVs.
Nice pass from James Shepard. Matt Pelech gets his first ever NHL goal. The penalty kill has been really good again for the Canucks against the hottest power play in the league. And, the Sharks have been dynamite in the face-off circle. To have one now deep in their own zone with Roberto Luongo with 3:08 left sitting on the bench.
Canucks 8-2, so they pull out the stops they have and go with 6 skaters here. Henrik Sedin trying to go forward with that drop. Puck comes to him on the left wing. Pavelski takes it away. Banks it off the boards and down. And puck rolling. Will it be enough? No, they wave it off as Garrison goes back. Now Edler can't find the puck at his feet. Still can't find it. Finally able to shovel it back. Garrison around for Alex Edler. Rink wide at center, Mike Santorelli. He dumps one in towards Niemi, who covers the puck under a shower of snow, and there'll be a face-off in the Shark zone.
Canucks hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Subway. It's $5 footlong time again at Subway restaurants. Enjoy a selection of footlongs for just $5 each. Subway, eat fresh.
Canucks down to 2:39 to go. Joe Thornton waved out. Logan Couture, not a bad backup plan. Again, Canucks trying to go forward with the draw, win the battle in the corner, but the Sharks get the puck out. Edler collects it at his own blue line. Alex Edler rings the puck in. Vlasic tries to get it right back out. Comes to Couture. Ahead to Thornton with the empty net. And he hit the post, but Burns gets the rebound and makes it 4-1. Joe Thornton will get an assist. Brent Burns with the empty netter, and the Sharks lead by 3.
Well, the Canucks, as you say, took the chance with 3:08 left. Pulled the goalie and face-off scrums. Canucks just not hungry enough on the puck, unable to get it off the post, and Brent Burns is there by himself to bang it in.
Burns with his second goal of the season, his second point of the hockey game. Remember, he had 20 points in 24 games after being moved to forward at the end of last season. And he started this year with 4 points in his first 4 games.
That's Joe Thornton's second point of this game.
And Couture will get the second assist. 2 minutes to go, Luongo back in. With the Canucks on the cusp of suffering their second loss of the season, and both will be at the hands of this red-hot San Jose Shark team. It'll be 9 in a row, regular season and playoffs combined for the Sharks, as Luongo handles that long shoot in and covers the puck with 1:45 to go.
What do you think of the strategy of going ahead on the faceoffs? Both offensive zone faceoffs with the goalie out. Canucks tried to go forward.
I guess they figure they have the numbers and they'll win the battle in the corner. Is that
that would
the
be
strategy?
The thinking, I would think. I'm not a big fan. Defensemen are closer. I'd much rather just drag it back, try and drag it back.
They tried it twice in a row. First Henrik, and then Kessler. Dale Weiss picks up a loose puck. Ridden into the boards by Desjardins as he tipped the puck in. Scott Hannon can't get it out. Here's Bieksa. Pass blocked. And Nieto's after the puck. Bieksa able to recover and knock it away. Nieto. Here's Desjardins down Main Street with a wrist shot, and the blocker is saved by Luongo. Another puck thrown on goal. Taken away by Dan Hamhuis. Ahead to Dale Weiss. And he plays the puck in as the game moves into its final minute. 4-1 Sharks, who came in having outscored the opposition 17-4 in their first 3 games, and that big goal differential is going to become even greater. Pavelski, fan on a centering pass. Dalpe gets the puck around for Weber, and Yannick Weber watches the puck go out. Sharks play it back. Niemi out of his net. Pavelski was dumped away from the puck. He gets up, taking a number. 25 seconds left. And the puck goes into the open door at the Vancouver bench. So the whistle blows with 20 seconds left in the game.
Shots on goal are 9-5 in this period in favor of San Jose. The Canucks really couldn't get anything going. And you mentioned the 2 shifts in the middle of the period where the Canucks looked like they might be able to get something. They played in the offensive zone, but really didn't get any good scoring chances on Antti Niemi.
Don Taylor standing by, connected immediately following this game. Highlights, post-game reaction. Another tough night for Alain Vigneault's Rangers. Highlights of that one as well. Booth for the sharp angle shot. Niemi lunging, but that's the last-ditch attempt for the Canucks, who lost to the Sharks on opening night, and the Shark wins bookend a 3-game Vancouver winning streak. Mike Santorelli, one of the bright spots, but Marlowe's Sharks win 4-1.
Well-deserved win for first road game for the San Jose Sharks, and they set the tone. Early in the first period, John, I thought the Sharks had the territorial edge and had the best scoring chances. The Canucks had that one power play that looked pretty good and couldn't score. And after that, the Sharks took over. Deep team, good defense, and great goaltending.
Like his team, Antti Niemi is 4-0 to start the season with the goals against barely above 1. Canucks with a win and a loss to begin this 3-game homestand. The rubber match goes Saturday against Montreal before a 7-game road trip begins on Tuesday. It's final from Rogers Arena. Sharks 4 and the Canucks 1. Here's Dan Murphy.
Sharks snap the Canucks 3-game win streak, and just like they've done for the past 8 times in games that matter, beat Vancouver 4-1, just as on opening night is your final score. Don Taylor is coming up next, so get connected. Plenty of post-game to come from Rogers Arena.